Welcome to What's the Stack? I'm Emily Connigan.
And I'm Carly Shearman. Every day as tech recruiters, we're asking the question, what's the stack? So we thought we'd bring that question to life with some of our favourite tech industry friends by asking them what their stack is over a stack of pancake in Brisbane's iconic church turned 24/7 restaurant, the Pancake Manor.
Welcome to What's the Stack? Every day as tech
What
recruiters.
are you doing?
We have got two guests, so two intros.
Yes and no. In a What's the Stack first, we do have two guests on together today.
Just one intro.
But just one intro is plenty.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Today we're meeting with Nick Pestov and Greg Le Sueur from TeachStarter. Nick and Greg are a dynamic duo when it comes to everything tech and product. They are like the Hamish and Andy, the Ernie and Bert, the Koshi and Nat, the Carly and Emily of tech and product. They are the Nick and Greg. What we love about Nick and Greg is that with Nick as the engineering manager and Greg as the head of product, they bring together their unique skill set to really transform the TeachStarter product into something that is easy to use and that teachers love and that they get so much value from every day. We love it, it's great.
Yeah, let's go meet Nick and Greg.
Let's go.
Welcome to What's the Stack, Nick and Greg. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
What's the stack in front of you today?
I have the Blueberry Heaven. I've never had it, so it's going to be interesting.
We'll get a review afterwards. And Greg,
I've got crepes.
interesting. Do you have something against pancakes?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
And with TeachStarter, what is your tech stack?
It's JavaScript, TypeScript. For front end, we have Vue.js and Nuxt.js. Back end is microservice-based. We have Node.js-based Kubernetes with Terraform.
And then Greg, on the product side, any tech stack things?
Yeah, we're using Amplitude for our product analytics.
Yep.
We're trialing Full Story at the moment. We've got Dovetail for syncing up qualitative insights, which has been awesome, and then using Notion to kind of document everything, and Linear for delivery management.
Well, I guess the tagline of TeachStarter is about creating aha moments in the classroom. We'd love to hear about some aha moments in your career. What have been, I guess, that moment that's really defined or changed the trajectory of your career?
I guess I always wanted to create things and make things. And my biggest aha moment when I realized that I could do what I'm passionate about as a career and keep learning as well, because in tech it's just nonstop.
And Greg, for you?
People will believe numbers more than they'll believe a story. And so if you're trying to, for a long time, I was trying to go down the qualitative research route to get people to motivate them to get things onto the product roadmap back when I was a designer. And then I learned when you kind of transitioned into product management that it's easier to get those things prioritized when you've got some quantitative data to back it up at the same time.
Nick, I promise we'll get to you in a second, but one more for Greg. All the way back now, but you originally started out as a graphic designer and then moved into UX UI design, and you're going to hate me saying this, but now you're one of the most recognised faces in the Brisbane and Gold Coast community for product. So it's clear you've kind of aced the pivot. How did you build that reputation over time?
I think with each step, I was just frustrated with where I was. So when I was a graphic designer, I was frustrated with how much money I was making. So I taught myself how to code. When I was doing websites, I was frustrated that they were just brochure websites and I wanted more juicier problems, so I got into UX design. With UX design, I was frustrated that all the insights I was uncovering wasn't getting prioritized on the product roadmap. So pivoted into product management. And then at each of those different steps, in terms of like from a community point of view, I didn't really have a lot of strong, like I was the first UX designer that Jumbo had hired, so there weren't a lot of kind of strong product discovery people at Jumbo, and so I was looking externally. And I just managed to sync up with some really strong product designers and product managers in the Brisbane community, and just they ended up becoming my kind of coaches and teachers, so I could help level up at a time when I felt quite isolated. But you know, as we grew the Jumbo team up to 25, I found I was relying less and less on the community and more on the internal team, which helps a lot.
So being frustrated is the key to success?
I think it is. I think because it's when you're frustrated, that's when you start looking for, you know, the comfortable hermit crab doesn't look for a new shell.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Love
The
that.
takeaway quote.
Put that on a t-shirt. Nick, so I guess keen to understand your motivations from a career perspective. You spoke before about that creativity element, which is really interesting from a tech perspective. But take us through, I guess, why did you decide to pursue a career in tech? And on top of that, what's kept you there? What, I guess, is engaging you to continue to pursue that career in tech?
It's really just that. Like, I think I wanted to make things. I wanted to create things, and there's so many different areas where you can do that. For me, it was basically, it came down to either becoming a film director or learning how to code.
Yeah.
And I did briefly go to film school, and I quickly realized that it wasn't a very good film school, so I dropped out. And sort of the next thing in line was coding. It was really, I just wanted the basics. I just wanted to understand, for example, like how to program a little window on the screen that just had one button on it, and when you press it, the window closes. I felt like if somebody could show me how to do that, I could sort of do the rest and build up on that.
And Nick, now a meaty question, and we don't expect you to be the expert on this topic, but really keen to get kind of your first-hand experience. So in our research, we were actually really excited to find out that you started your career in Armenia, apparently in film school as well. And it appears, at least from the outside, that you made a seamless transition into kind of the Australian tech market. Here in Australia, we really do rely on skilled migration, but at the same time, it can be hard to kind of get your first start when you do come to Australia. What advice do you have for companies hiring, and what do you wish you could tell them when it comes to reviewing international talent?
Everywhere in the world, like we basically engineers speak the same language, right? JavaScript is the same JavaScript, that's in Australia is the same anywhere around the world. So is Python, so is any other programming language. So it's about, if you are putting a team together of people that all speak the same language, if they all come from very diverse backgrounds, all different parts of the world, they're bringing sort of all of that with them to the picture. And I really think that you're more likely to have more creative solutions to the challenges that you're facing, or to, you're more likely to innovate in that case. So people who are not doing that, I would tell them that they're missing out, basically.
We talk to developers and people in product every day about where they want to take their career next, and I guess a common theme that we've found, particularly post-COVID, is around developers and product people, and basically anyone that we're talking to at the moment. They're wanting to find purpose in their next career move. But what sort of impact does that purpose-driven organisation have on the way that you are creating and developing that product?
When you hear a customer, and that customer's a teacher, and they're talking about the impact that your teaching resources has had on their, like, it's a lot more powerful than where I was before, which was in lottery tickets, and there isn't as much emotion attached to the transaction or the purchase journey, and so that really kind of blew me away. And it's almost like a double-edged sword though, because you get so impassioned by it, you end up focusing. I mean, I'm spending a lot more time than I initially thought I would on some of these things, because you want to do a good job, because it does make a difference, in these teachers and then eventually the students' lives. And so, it's been really awesome for me to get that first-hand feedback from our customers, and then see that translate to some of the product decisions that we're then making.